Hey guys, so today I have a tutorial on the keyhole method for the Pyraminx. So someone suggested I actually do this, and in my opinion there's not many great tutorials on YouTube on keyhole right now, so hopefully this will be better than those. So keyhole is a top first method, and if you don't know what I mean by top first, you're most likely using layer by layer right now. So in layer by layer you get these centers, and then you get these edges in the right spot. Then you do an algorithm to solve the top. So, but in top first, what you do is you start out with this top, then you go down and fix everything on the bottom layer. It's a little bit different, but not too different. So with keyhole, you can easily get down to like 5 seconds, maybe even 4 seconds, or even 3 if you're insane. But I'd recommend learning some more top first methods before you get that fast. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you a quick walkthrough of keyhole right now. So. Alright, so what I'm gonna do first here, and the first step of keyhole is to get two edges solved around one center on the top. Then what you do is you solve all of your centers. So, oh yeah, red is on bottom because there's no red on this tip, so I'm gonna solve all these red centers. Alright, now I'm going to solve this edge with an algorithm. Okay, it's right there, so algorithm. Alright, so now we have our last layer case. Yeah, the method is pretty fast. It's pretty move efficient as well. So a lot more move efficient than your regular layer by layer, I think. So yeah, now I'm gonna actually show you how to do the method. Now for the sake of tutorial, I'm gonna only do the yellow, blue, and red top, and I'm not gonna do any of the tips just to make it easier for you. So yeah, basically doing the top is very intuitive. So you just find two edges that are like on the bottom layer or wherever, and then you can just solve them. It's pretty easy. So for the top, we need 2 of these edges. So we either need yellow, red, blue, yellow, or red, blue. It doesn't matter which ones you get, you just have to get 2 of them. So oh look here, I have the blue and red edge in the bottom. So oh, here's the slot it needs to go in because it's in between the red and blue center. So I see that this red will, if I do an R prime move from here, this red will match this red. This color, the red on the edge, will match this center. So if I do an R prime, it'll be solved. So yeah, let's just show that again. It's pretty simple. Alright, so, oh look, so now we have the red and yellow edge here. Where does it go? Oh, it goes here because it needs to go between the yellow and red center because the edge is yellow and red. So, oh, it looks like I can just put it up with an L prime move because if I move this edge up, the red will face forward towards me and the yellow will face back here. So if the red will face forward towards me, then it will match this center. So just do that, and we have solved it. I'm gonna do a few more walkthroughs. Okay, so here, it looks like I'm not gonna be doing anything with this edge because it's already flipped, and that would be kind of annoying to solve. So I'm probably gonna solve these 2. So it looks like I have the blue and red edge right here, and here's the blue and red slot, but I can't just put it up with an R move because remember, if I put this red piece, this red sticker, if I do an R, this red sticker will move back here, but the red center is over here. So if I just put it up, it'll become flipped, and we do not want that. So what you can do is you can actually do a U, like on the top layer, or you can do like a small D if you want, like kind of like this, moving like the bottom layer. Either one works. I kind of just like rotate and then do a U, but it's all personal preference really. So I can do a U, and now I see the blue is on bottom. It's still on bottom, and if we turn this layer, the blue will face you. So we're good. So yeah, now this is solved. So and this is really easy right here. So what we can do, so the yellow is on bottom. Oh look, center's gonna match, it's gonna face us, so we can just put that right there. It's pretty simple. I'm gonna do one more walkthrough. Now sometimes, probably around 50% of the time, maybe a little less, you already have one of these pieces solved, and that's really nice. So when you have like a top, for example, like this, here's another top, you probably want to go for it because you already have one of your edges solved, and you might as well just solve the other one. So yeah, so we have two choices here. So we can either solve the yellow and red edge into the yellow and red slot, or we can solve the blue and yellow edge into the blue yellow slot. So let's look at the red yellow edge. So we would have to do 2 moves to solve it because remember, this yellow sticker will move back here and this red sticker will move over here, and it'll just be in there flipped. And in this case though, blue sticker up here, yellow sticker up here, we're good. We can just turn it up there. So generally when you're doing keyhole, you want to look ahead. For when you're first starting out, you want to look in inspection, you want to see your top. So you want to see these 2 edges. So it's pretty simple. Usually it's only like, I don't know, maybe 2, 3, 4 moves. It's pretty, once you get the hang of it, it'll be hard the first couple of times, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be fine. So the next step in the keyhole tutorial is to solve these centers. So the way you tell which center is supposed to be on bottom is, well, you can of course look on each center like, oh look, there's green on this one, there's green on this one, green on this one, oh, we should have to solve the green one. There's a simpler way though. You can look at this tip on top. It has yellow, red, and blue, and it does not have green. So that means green has to be on the bottom. So it's really easy how you do this. So what you do is, okay, so for example, okay, let's start out with the center. So it's facing away from us, so not towards us. So what we have to do to solve it, remember, we're using the keyhole method, so we do not want to turn these solved pieces. This is our keyhole. This is what we use to solve these centers. So let's see. Green is facing away from us. So what we need to do is we need to do an R move to solve this center on bottom. It'll be facing on bottom. So now we have solved that center. So we can do I highly recommend doing a YD or like a YD prime, whichever way you prefer. So I'm gonna do a YD to get to the next center to do. So this one solved like that. So this center also has to go to the bottom and it's facing away from us. So we just have to do an R like that. All right, now to solve the last center, we're gonna do another D. Sometimes you already have some centers solved, most of the time actually. So yeah, in this case, we just have 3. And now this center is facing towards us. So what we need to do is do an R prime to solve it. By the way, if you ever get like while doing your centers, you have a piece solved, but you have to still do a center, still do the center. Just do the center. Don't pay attention to that. Make sure you remember which like section is your keyhole. So yeah, I'm gonna do one more centers walkthrough. All right, so here we have 2 centers that have to be solved. For example, if I'm already over here and the center is already solved, I just do a YD move. So this center solved, we can just move away, YD move. Center facing away from us. Let's do that with an R, YD move. Oh, and this has to go down, so YD move. I mean R prime, but yeah, by the way, do not leave the tutorial now. If you think you know what you're doing, don't. Do not know what you're doing, okay? You do not know what you're doing. You do not go here and solve V first. That is a terrible way of solving. So the next step of keyhole is now you have to solve this piece. This isn't a really good example because it's already flipped, but yeah, you have to solve this piece. So all you have to learn is 1 algorithm and its mirror. So 2 algorithms, 1 if you only count it in the mirror. So yeah, so first of all, you have to find which piece has to go here. So this is between the yellow and red center, so we need the yellow and red piece. Okay, it's back here. So you do not necessarily have to have this these edges solved to the corresponding centers at the moment. Once you do your centers, you do not have to solve it. That's a common misconception that I actually thought you had to do, but you actually don't. So yeah, so our keyhole's over here. We're gonna use the same kind of logic that we used with solving these two edges. So okay, so yellow is facing on bottom. So what we have to do is we have to have it facing so we can solve it like this with one move, but we're not actually gonna just do one move. So okay, yellow, that's gonna be flipped because yellow's gonna go over here. Let's see. You can do it with both sides, doesn't really matter. Like, oh, see, you don't actually have to turn it to check. I mean, you can easily just check like that, so, by looking. So yeah, you just don't really pay attention to this color right now. So now we have the edge in the place where we can do an R or an L, and these two colors will match. Don't care about this piece right now. So we have to, so it has to go to the right because our keyhole is right here. So this piece has to go here, and it can solve with an R move. So it can be, if it can be solved with an R move and it has to go to this right slot, you do the algorithm L prime, R prime, L, R. Got that? So let's do that again. L prime, R prime, L, R. And now this piece is solved, and you can just do the AUF or adjust up face to match the top with its centers, these edges with their centers. But in the case that you have to put the edge on the left right here, so okay, so if I put that, that's not going to do anything. Okay, here, so if it has to go on the left, you do the algorithm R, L, R prime, L. Let's do that again. R, L, R prime, L prime. But there's one more case. So so once you do your centers, oh wait, this edge is in the right place, but it's flipped. What do I do? So there's a few ways you can do it. You can just take it out and insert it like this, but that's a really bad way. I won't really even go over that. A better way to do it is just to do like a kind of a Z rotation like this and just do a 2 flip. So if you guys don't know what a 2 flip is, it's basically where you have to flip 2 edges. Like it's a last layer case with top first method. So yeah, so the 2 flip algorithm is really easy. It's just R prime, L, R, L prime, U, L prime, U prime, L. You can also do the inverse of it. You start with L moves like this. And then I prefer the righty version, but a lot of people use the lefty version actually. So whatever 2 flip you use, make sure you do it with like a Z rotation with your bottom face facing to the right of you, or you could actually do it like this as well, but I prefer to do it on the right. You could also do it on the left. So you just do the 2 flip here, and this edge is solved. Now the last step of solving keyhole, or basically any top first method, is to solve these last 3 edges. And this is a set of algorithms, so they're really easy to memorize and pretty easy to recognize. So yeah, so I'm gonna just start out with the algorithms where the entire top face, the front face is green, but these edges have to swap. You can also get skips where the bottom layer is already solved for you when you put your last edge in, but those don't happen too often. So yeah, so this first case is when this, so you basically, for these green face on top, on front cases, you recognize it by looking at these 2 colors over here. So if this blue has to go here and this red has to go here, I just basically recognize that this blue has to go here. So you basically just do a sledgehammer here. So okay, and then you do, I basically rotate over here. The algorithm's actually L prime, U, L, U prime. But I like to go up here and do like a kind of like a rotation and do L prime, R, L, R prime. So here's the mirror of the case. So now this sticker has to go here on this yellow side. So for the algorithm, it's basically the mirror. So it's Lefty Sledge. So L, R prime, L prime, R, and then I kind of rotate up here. So I'm gonna say the like the actual algorithm. So R, U prime, R prime, U. But I kind of I execute it like rotation R, L prime, R prime, L. So those are the only algorithms that involve 8 moves to solve. All the other ones are 4 moves. So yeah, so this is probably the easiest case. It's the easiest case. It's pretty easy to recognize as well. So how I recognize this as this red, it doesn't match anything on top. This red piece, it's there, and there's like a block. Well, it's a green like line right here. So this edge is matched with these green centers. So this is the easiest case. All it is sledgehammer. So R, L, R prime, L, R, L prime. So the mirror of this case is when you have it on the left. So red doesn't match anything, or whatever color you have here doesn't match anything on top, and you have the block on the other side this time, and the edges on the other side. So what you do is here is Lefty Sledge. So L, R prime, L prime, R. So now I'm gonna go over the cases that kind of look like the ones that we just went over, but they're not. So if this color matches here, or if you want to recognize it like this color matches here, the algorithm is the second part of one of the algorithms we already learned. So I'm gonna say like rotate over here and do R, L prime, R prime, L. So R, L prime, R prime, L. Or if you want to execute it like this, R, or you want to think of it like this, so R, U prime, R prime, U. So the inverse of that case is when you have the block on the right, of course. Yeah, this color matches here. Okay, so we have a block. So this is just the lefty version of that. So rotate L prime, R, L, R prime. So let's do that from this angle, or like LU moves. So L prime, U, L, U prime. So for these last two cases, you have a green kind of block. This sticker matches these two green centers on the bottom. And this is pretty easy to recognize. You see, oh, the bottom color is on the right. So, and in the other case, the bottom right color is on the left. So this color doesn't match these two, and it's on the right. So you can recognize it that this yellow this color matches that. It doesn't really matter. So the algorithm for this is, these algorithms are all really similar. So rotate L prime, R, L, R prime, and I'll do it from the RU kind of point of view. So U prime, R, U, R prime. Okay, so now we have these two colors match, and the bottom color is on the left. So okay, so the algorithm from this angle is R, L prime, R prime, L. And from this angle it's U, L prime, U prime, L. Oh, and I forgot the 2 flip. So now I'm gonna do 2 walkthrough solves using Keyhole for you guys. So I'll have the scramble on the screen and in the description if you want to follow along. So I want you to scramble green on front and yellow on bottom. So and if you don't have red on this side and blue on this side, because one of my Pyraminxes has like red on this side and blue on this side, you can still follow along. The colors will still be pretty similar. So yeah, green on front, yellow on bottom. Here's the scramble. And the small letters are just the tips. So Okay, so I'm gonna see which top I should do. I do not see any blocks, so that leaves me to do a lot. I have a lot of choices. I see a 3-move top for this. Let me see if I can find a 2-move one. Okay, here, I found a 2-move top for this. So what I like to do is I always like to solve the top tip first. So in this case, I would do like that, something like that. So yeah, so the 2 edges I'm gonna solve are this one and this one. So I'm gonna solve this edge first, because if I solve this edge first, then this edge will move back here. So see, okay, so this matches this center matches this center back here, and this will move away, so that I'm good with that. And now I'm going to do an R prime from here, because I know this edge sticker will move over here, so I'm going to do R. Okay, I'm going to just do this tip. So now I'm going to move over to the keyhole with doing like kind of a rotation. So I already see this center solved, so I'm not going to go to that one. So I'm going to do this tip. Okay, so this center has to move down here. So let's see. Okay, so wait, I forgot to explain why yellow's on the bottom. So we have blue, green, red here. Oh, no yellow. So yellow must be the bottom color. So we're gonna do an R. Then in this case, I'm gonna do like a small d prime, because it would be kind of not efficient if I did 2 small d moves. So I'm going to do a small d prime, because this center is already solved anyway. So alright, this also has to go away from us, so we can do an R. And now let's look for the keyhole. Oh, here's the this is the piece that has to go here in the keyhole. So now this has to go to the right here. So we'll do the righty algorithm. Alright, so I'm just going to just line the top layer. Okay, so now we have this. There's a yellow line on bottom, and the edge that goes on bottom is on the left. And in this case, it's probably easier to recognize that, in my opinion, that these two match over here. So now we have to do this algorithm. We have it solved. So I'm going to do one more. Okay, we also do not have any blocks on this scramble, so that's fun. So a tip for when you have no edges, like on no blocks anywhere, is what on the bottom layer, if you're, for example, looking at this top, you want to see what edges can move up from the bottom layer. So okay, these two are red, so they obviously are not part of this. So I can move this edge up here in 2 moves, and that wouldn't be a great solution, because then I would have to do 4 moves for my top. Okay, so here I have a 3-move top for this, so I'm going to do this tip. So what I saw is this yellow-red edge go here with 2 moves, so we can't just put it up here because it's going to be flipped. So move it over here so these 2 match, and then these 2 match. So now we can just rotate over here. There's red, that. Let's rotate over to our keyhole. Looks like green's on bottom because we have yellow, blue, and red. And it looks like we only have to do 1 center. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to do kind of a U. I'm going to rotate and do a U like that because it's more comfortable for me. And I'm going to solve this tip as well. So just solve this center because it's facing us. So R prime. Okay, our keyhole is right here. So in the slot, it's going to be flipped if we do it like that, because these two are the same. So move it over here. Now these yellows match, so it has to go on the left. So lefty algorithm, align the top layer, and it looks like we have this case. So let's recognize it. So okay, these 2 colors match. And this piece doesn't have to go down here because this matches over here. So it's obviously this case. So now we do R, L prime, R prime, L. So if you have any questions about my tutorial, or maybe you're stuck on a step and maybe you have a tough scramble and you don't know what to do, you can comment down below. I'll reply to them. So yeah, that was my tutorial on the keyhole method. Whoops. If you guys want a tutorial on more top first methods, please feel free to comment down below as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.